Today, it's our Fallout New Vegas special. We've got new characters, weapons, factions, and the brutal hardcore mode.
Plus an exclusive look at one of the game's most disturbing missions. X-Play starts right now.
Hello and welcome to X-Play's Fallout New Vegas special. I'm Adam Sessler.
And I'm Morgan Webb. Today we've got an in-depth look at the next chapter in the apocalyptic series.
They're psychos, mutants, gambling, cannibalism, and Wayne Newton.
Just like the real Vegas.
Coming up, we'll take you inside the Mojave Desert and meet the horrible, despicable people you'll meet on your journey and eventually kill.
Plus, we'll check out the arsenal you'll use on this glorious rampage. There's old favorites, new melee weapons, and for the first time in the series, mods.
Then we'll break down all of the RPG's new features, including the brutally difficult hardcore mode. This will put hair on your chest. And
later, we've got an exclusive look at one of the game's most disturbing missions, and that is saying something, considering this is Fallout.
But first, let's set the table for the end of the world.
Fallout New Vegas is a return to the roots of the series, taking you back to the West Coast for more mayhem and murder.
And it was developed by Obsidian Entertainment, which is made up of people who, most of them actually, worked on the original games of Fallout.
All right, here's a look at how this chapter kicks off.
Very important.
All right, guys, I have Chris Avalone here. Now, he is the senior designer for Fallout New Vegas. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, Morgan.
All right, I want to talk a little bit about the story.
The super mutants here do whatever she says.
Can you give people some background about the world of Fallout?
The world of Fallout, the actual game, is a first-person role-playing game. You are allowed a lot of options to build your character from the outset, and then you go off into a post-nuclear wasteland and watch the world react to the choices you've made as a character in your build and in the choices you make in various quests over the course of the game.
And so where does this particular story start?
This story is the latest installment in the Fallout franchise. It takes place 4 years after the events of Fallout 3.
And who is your character?
Your character is given the title of what's known as a courier. And what they're tasked with doing is delivering packages across the wasteland, usually through dangerous territory.
I hope you didn't just bring a heap of trouble down in Good Springs by killing Joe Cobb like that.
And at the start of the game, your task is to deliver a package to New Vegas, but you don't quite get there.
As you can probably tell, we aren't doing the kind of job we could be doing.
The game starts with a bang. Notably, there's a bullet delivered to your character's forehead, and you spend the entire character creation process recuperating in the house of Doc Mitchell, who's a small-town doctor in the town of Good Springs.
I'm Doc Mitchell. Welcome to Good Springs.
During that recuperation period, he asks you questions about your background, allows you to customize your appearance.
I want you to tell me how much they sound like something you'd say.
They may not have sewn you up correctly after the bullet wound to the head. So they make your choice with your character creation that way, and then you leave Doc Mitchell's house and you're free to explore the environment.
You ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up.
And so what kind of character options do you have, or trait options?
We have a lot of the same skills that were present in Fallout 3. We also introduced these aspects called traits, which actually are sort of like perks, which are advantages, but they have a little bit of a drawback too.
Let's talk a little bit about fan service. What do you think fans are going to love most about the story?
I think one thing they're really going to like about the story is the fact that as much as Fallout 3 was very much an open world game, the storyline in Fallout New Vegas is very much an open world story. It has a lot of flexibility in terms of how events play out, how people treat you.
What can I do to make your tops experience the tops?
And how you navigate the environment, what quests you get. So we feel it's going to be very, very rare for two people to have the same experience in New Vegas.
They're just going to have to play it 10 times each, right?
I hope so.
Hope this helped you some.
Here you go.
You'd think a nuclear apocalypse would leave the planet kind of empty and full of boring, whiny people. But in the world of Fallout, there are humans, robots, mutants, and more monstrosities than you could imagine. Even robot dogs with real brains.
Well, howdy, partner. Good to see you again.
Characters have always been a big part of Fallout. How do you interact with them, and is it going to be the same way people are familiar with, or did you kind of change that up a little bit?
This is a restricted area. State your business.
One of the things that our project director, Josh Sawyer, did was he recognized that sometimes giving commands to companions in Fallout 3 was occasionally made you go through a lot of dialogue trees. So what he did was made this really cool companion radial interface. And the way it works is when you just talk to a companion, the wheel pops up, you give them quick commands that way, and basically it makes controlling the companions a lot easier.
Very well, you may proceed.
There are some quirky characters in Fallout 3. I assume that you guys have some quirky characters in this game too.
We do have some quirky characters, and some of them are not even human, but they'll join your party and they make for an interesting bunch.
Well, that was quite an adventure.
And who's your favorite, or who kind of stands out as somebody that really sticks in your head?
The one that jumps out to mind mostly because it has a dog brain inside its cybernetic dog body is a character called Rex who can join your party. Basically, he's a big, savage metal dog with a brain that you can see inside a glass dome.
Aggressive acts against us will earn you a place on a cross.
Now, there are factions now vying for control of New Vegas. Can you tell us about who's fighting?
One is Caesar's Legion, who has their encampment east of the Colorado River. And they're a band of slavers that have taken up the flag of ancient Rome.
I want you to teach everyone you meet the lesson that Caesar's Legion taught here.
They're butting heads with the New California Republic, which is present in Fallout 2. The New California Republic is sort of a struggling democracy, and so the conflict starts building over the course of the game. The player can make several key decisions about the outcome of that conflict.
Now, you also have to work on your reputation with each of these factions.
Correct. Reputation is a new mechanic that we introduced for New Vegas. Basically, the actions that you take for or against a faction will affect how they perceive you.
You'll pay for that!
And does karma, is that going to have any effect on my reputation with either faction?
Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
No, they don't judge you based on your inner soul. What they do is they just judge you by your actions. As long as people perceive you as doing the right thing for their faction, you'll still have a high reputation with them, and we think that creates a really interesting mechanic for the player.
Come over here and give your grandma some sugar.
The companion wheel and the introduction of factions create some very interesting new dynamics in the Fallout universe, but at the end of the day, I am here to freaking kill stuff. I'll do it with guns, melee weapons, anything that causes a mess. Here's a look at the game's instruments of death.
Hey there, friend. A bit of advice. You look like you could use some protection.
One of the hallmarks of Fallout is the wide selection of death-dealing instruments at the player's disposal. Project Director Josh Sawyer explains how Fallout New Vegas continues the tradition.
What I wanted to do with the weapons in Fallout New Vegas is make sure, one, that no matter what skill a person invested in, they felt like they had a lot of options for them. Two, I wanted to make sure that at any given point in the game, whatever weapons were available to them felt like they had a very specific tactical application.
Now, you can also mod weapons as well, in case you're feeling creative.
Yes, a lot of people really enjoy weapon mods. This is something we found in the PC modding community, which is very popular.
Weapon mods are things like silencers, scopes, bigger magazines.
So you can add scopes, extended magazines, you can increase the rate of fire of weapons, and most of those are also cosmetic as well, so every time you add a mod, you'll actually see the weapon change.
Now, you can craft your own ammo in this game. What types of ammo can you make?
Well, you can make certain types of ammo and you can buy other types of ammo. And there's some overlap between those two, but it's all part of our new sort of ammo overhaul.
But I'm going to like the ammo I make better.
Yes, you probably will.
Because I made it with love.
Yes, and it also is a very cheap way to make a lot of good ammo from basically recycling all of your old brass.
So have there been any changes to VATS?
We've made a few changes to accuracy, mostly so that players would use it a little more tactically.
Thank you for helping me.
It's not quite as easy to just headshot guys all over the place. So taking body shots or limb shots is a little more tactically viable in some cases. We've also added new melee moves for VATS. So a lot of people, they enjoyed using VATS with melee, but there weren't a lot of tactical options for it. So now as you increase your melee or your unarmed skills, you get new options in VATS. So if you have enough AP, you can do, cool moves like the 9-iron does a move called 4, which is basically a full-on golf swing that can knock a target down.
And what is Iron Sights mode?
Iron Sights mode is something that a lot of people requested, and so we put it in. It's optional if people don't really like it, but I think people will. It's basically, it allows you to, when you aim, instead of using the little reticle at the center of the screen, it actually brings the weapon up into the center of the screen, and you are actually aiming down the physical sights of the weapon.
Whatever your preferred method of destruction, the Mojave Wasteland will never be the same.
Take it easy now.
Stick around, we have got more Fallout New Vegas on the way, including an exclusive look at one of the game's most upsetting missions. That's because there's cannibalism. Human beings are disgusting to eat. Plus, we'll go behind the scenes for a look at the game's art direction and learn how this apocalyptic take on the Las Vegas Strip was designed. Then we'll take a virtual tour of the Mojave Wasteland and check out the places where you'll be killing mutants, gambling, and making horrible, horrible decisions. And we'll run down all of the game's new features, hardcore mode, crafting, mods, traits, and a whole lot more. Stay with us.
Sweet! Delivery pizza. It's my turn to pay.
Yes, it is.
Well, there was a bit of a rush charge and a doorbell ringing fee.
For fresh delivery taste without the delivery price, it's DiGiorno.
You're not getting paid.
My, what have we here? Butterfinger Snackers. I've never heard of those. Oh, they're just the latest thing. Chocolatey little treats with a smooth Butterfinger center. I love Butterfinger. I think I'll try one. Ow! I think you won't.
New Butterfinger Snackers. Crispy, chocolatey, bite-sized treats with a smooth Butterfinger center.
Nobody's gonna lay a finger on my Butterfinger Snackers.
Something wrong with your squeegee, kid?
I'm a little sick.
Sick? You're gonna let a sore throat beat you? You're fearless. This billing is tough, but it's never seen the likes of you before. Are you going to be a champ or a chump?
The champ!
Show me!
Halls, a pep talk in every drop.
With triple soothing action.
Hi, we're looking to save some money on our car insurance.
Great! At Progressive, you can compare rates side by side so you get the same coverage, often for less.
Wow, that is huge.
And this is to remind you that you could save hundreds.
Yeah, that'll certainly stick with me.
We'll take it.
Go, big money! I mean, go, it's your break, honey.
Same coverage, more savings. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Yo, Troy, you been using my shampoo? Because it's for guys who want thicker looking hair.
I didn't use it.
Didn't you?
No.
Didn't you?
Yes.
Head & Shoulders Hair Endurance Shampoo. Cleans to give you thicker looking hair in 1 week.
Get what you crave. Doritos Late Night Cheeseburger.
Entertain your mouth with the unique melon mango experience of Tic Tac.
Yes! Experience Heroes from the beginning in back-to-back episodes. Heroes Power Block tomorrow at 8, only on G4.
It says, I will not compromise. I will not back down. I will not give up. I will never sacrifice joy in the name of practicality. The wicked fun, while it's smart. Mazda 3.
Sign and drive off in a Mazda 3 for just $209 a month with zero due at lease signing.
Spice up your NFL season with Papa John's new Zesty Jalapeno and Meats Pizza.
Papa's in the house.
The clock is running and there's no timeouts. Choose a large Zesty Jalapeno and Meats Pizza with pepperoni and real spicy Italian sausage. Or a Tuscan 6 cheese pizza, just $11 for a limited time. Order now at papajohns.com. These $11 specialty pizzas are going fast and we can't stop the clock.
Better pizza, Papa John's! Yeah!
2,500 athletes have attempted the Ninja Warrior course. Only 3 have ever succeeded. Can any American conquer the course? American Ninja Warrior begins this December, only on G4.
Welcome back to X-Play Special Look at Fallout New Vegas, which is in stores on October 19th. Now, when I think of Fallout games, I see bombed-out cities ravaged by nuclear weapons, rubble, and a whole lot of trash. But this time around, things are a little different. Sin City managed to avoid a nuke attack and adapted to the times. Take a look at our eventual future.
Hey, fellow, welcome to the Tops Hotel and Casino.
I am here with Joe Sanabria, and you are the lead artist on Fallout New Vegas.
Yes, that's right. Hi, everybody.
New Vegas isn't exactly like Vegas, and what did you take of the real thing, and what did you make up?
What we tried to do was go with the 50s era Vegas. So for the most part, the Strip is the only thing that is common between those two. In the 50s, most of it was pretty open and there was just a few casinos.
And you got to create your own casino as well.
That's right, yeah. Not only did we come up with the new casinos, that we also came up with their own history. Most of the casinos, we've taken their pre-war identity and just updated it. In a sense, like Ultralux was a high-end resort, like say Four Seasons. So its sign is not prominent on the Strip. It's really about the exclusivity of the clientele, and that still carries over post-war.
Here's your chips. Is there anything else I can help you with?
And you even went so far as designing cards.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you asked that because we really wanted to try and reflect the identities of those casinos, even little things as the badges on the slot machines.
So do you really spend time trying to figure out where it would degrade and how it would actually degrade?
Yes, absolutely. I am obsessed with trying to capture the true structural elements of buildings so that when we show cracks, they make sense. You know, if a toilet's leaking for 100 years, it's going to make a mess inside that building. And then we try to hook that up with the orientation. So when you saw the streaky mark on that wall on the lower floor and you're upstairs, now you see where it came from.
Really?
Well, we try to, at least in every case.
Thank you, and enjoy your stay at the Tops.
If you're one of those cynical people who think that New Vegas is just Fallout 3 reskinned, prepare to be proven wrong. The game features numerous gameplay changes, whether it's factions, traits, hunting, heck, even the way you aim your gun is different. Here's everything you need to know.
People don't like when classics are toyed with, but in the case of Fallout New Vegas, Obsidian are only making changes that strengthen the series.
All right, so you have, a few die-hard fans who don't really like to see changes in things. Change is scary. But what new features have you introduced?
We've tried to keep the gameplay mostly the same, but we did want to introduce improvements, mostly to combat and sort of more challenging aspects of the game, especially for veteran players. So we introduced a hardcore mode that changes a lot of aspects, including how healing works.
And that's an option, so you don't necessarily
That
have
is
to...
an option.
Okay.
You can opt into it at the beginning of the game. If you find that it's a little too challenging, you can turn it off, but you do get a very high value achievement if you play through the entire game in a hardcore mode. But we're hoping that people adapt to it quickly and they find that the increased challenge is something that, it adds something to the gameplay instead of being a roadblock.
Let's talk about skills. Are they going to be the same skills that we had before? New skills? How are they going to be assigned?
Well, you assign skills in mostly the same way. We did change a little bit of the formula for how they're calculated. That shouldn't make a big difference to most people. We did take the big gun skill and we got rid of it. We took all the weapons that were in that category and distributed it to other categories.
So now crafting is something that I'm going to specifically have to invest skills in, or is it something that even if I invest in something else, I'm still going to be able to participate in that?
It's something that you get along with other skills. So there are three primary ways of crafting in the game. There are campfires, and that primarily uses the survival skill. There are workbenches, just like there were in Fallout 3, and that primarily uses the science skill. And there's also reloading benches, and those primarily use the repair skill. And they each make different types of equipment, and it's sort of a secondary reward for investing in those certain skill types.
What are traits?
Traits are something that we brought back from Fallout 1 and 2. There's optional things that you take at the beginning of the game. You can take one or two, or you don't have to take any at all. And they will give you a benefit, but there's also an inherent drawback to taking them.
Regardless of how you choose to play, Obsidian assures us that fans won't be overwhelmed by the changes.
We weren't trying to really overhaul anything. We mostly just wanted to look at things like combat, controlling companions, weapon modification, and see what things we could do to just elevate the gameplay overall to make it a more enjoyable experience.
Talk to you soon, dear.
We have got even more Fallout New Vegas on the way, including an exclusive look at the very troubling White Glove Society mission. Plus, we'll go on a sightseeing tour and check out the game's wild environments from the wasteland to the Las Vegas Strip. We'll be right back.
Have a good time, baby.
TV's only
primetime show devoted to the world of video games.
Welcome to X-Play.
X-Play, next, only on G4.
Really? It's time for a phone.
Really? Really?
To save us from our phones. New Windows Phone, designed to get you in and out and back to life.
Rated M for mature. There's only one vehicle tough enough to play in this world. The new Jeep Wrangler Call of Duty Black Ops Edition.
Okay, guys, heads or tails?
Heads.
No, that's the name of the new Oreo cookie.
What's the name of the new Oreo cookie?
Heads or tails?
Tails. Tails.
Heads.
Heads.
Tails.
Heads.
Heads?
Oh,
Heads.
no.
What?
Heads.
Tails. Tails.
Spice up your NFL season with Papa John's new zesty jalapeno and meats pizza.
Papa's in the house.
The clock is running and there's no timeouts. Choose a large zesty jalapeno and meats pizza with pepperoni and real spicy Italian sausage, or a Tuscan 6-cheese pizza, just $11 for a limited time. Order now at papajohns.com. These $11 specialty pizzas are going fast and we can't stop the clock.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's! Yeah!
Last year, the U.S. alone used over 39 billion plastic bottles of water. That's enough to stretch around the Earth over 190 times. Each Brita filter can take up to 300 of those bottles out of the equation. It's a small step that can make a big difference.
Over 2,500 athletes have run the Ninja Warrior course on Mount Midoriyama in Japan, and only 3 have conquered it. No Americans have, but brave daredevils from around the country are ready to give it a shot. American Ninja Warrior returns this December only on G4. Go to g4tv.com/ANW2 for all the details.
In the next 60 seconds, we want you to qualify to be the next $50,000 home makeover winner. Pick up the phone and get ready to start dialing when the number appears on your screen. Call the number on your screen now and we'll mail you a key. If your key opens the lock in your local Direct Buy Club, you'll be the next $50,000 home makeover winner. Operators are standing by, so call right now. Direct Buy Club has already awarded over $1 million, and someone is going to win the $50,000 home makeover. Why not you? If the phone number is blinking, the phone lines are now open. Call now to receive your key and an invitation to your local Direct Buy Club, where members can save thousands or more paying low direct from the source prices on big ticket items like kitchen cabinets, home furnishings, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and so much more. Call now and get your key to winning a $50,000 home makeover. Someone is going to win the $50,000 home makeover. Why not you?
Hey, I'm Dude Manrod, and I once cracked a cactus on a bet. That's tough! You know what else is tough? G4's new show, That's Tough. It's the most badass countdown show on TV. You're gonna see the toughest fighters, and the toughest soldiers, the toughest gangs, and the toughest prisons. Oh, you can keep watching your vampire romances and your crappy Glee Club sitcoms, or you can grow a pair. That's Tough. All new Wednesday at 8:30. It's only on G4.
Fallout New Vegas is a huge open world game. You can walk wherever you want, whenever you want. During your travels, you'll visit fantastic locations and kill things there. Environments range from the desolate wasteland to glitzy New Vegas Strip, and here is a closer look.
There's a prairie wild and free.
Now, so you're making a wasteland in the Mojave Desert. How does that differ from making a wasteland in other parts of the United States?
The desert in the Las Vegas Valley presented a very nice and clean environment for us to work with. What we started out with was a wasteland that was almost identical in size, and we actually kind of extended it a little further in the south and quite a bit in the north. And in terms of the number of locations, again, we wound up going actually a little bit higher in terms of overall location count than Fallout 3.
So, of course, you can't have New Vegas without the Strip. What was your inspiration for that, and how did that come together?
We looked at the Strip from about 57 to 61, and we took that as our inspiration. We walled it off. We made it this very important enclave where only VIPs go. People with money, you have to actually pass a credit check to even get into the Strip.
Trespassers will be shot.
So it is relatively small, but there is a more sprawling outer Vegas area that's in a bit more decay than what the Strip is.
So we have the opportunity to kind of visit the Strip back from the 50s, early 60s. What other real-world locations are there?
You start out in a ghost town that exists now, Good Springs. Well, of course, there's Hoover Dam, and that is really what this entire game's central conflict is all about. Hoover Dam is still mostly active, so it's a source of clean water and power. And throughout, you'll see Interstate 15, you'll see certain landmarks. There's Prim, which exists currently, and we have a variation of that.
Prim, the other New Vegas.
And there's Boulder City, and there are many real-world locations.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Happy trails.
Fallout games are known for their setting, the atmosphere, the dark humor, and of course, incredibly depressing situations that go from bad to worse. Here's an exclusive look at one of Fallout New Vegas' most disturbing missions, which features cannibalism. Enjoy. I am here with Eric Fenstermaker. Now, you are a designer on Fallout New Vegas, and you're going to walk us through the White Glove Society quest line in the game. So first of all, where does it take place?
The quest takes place at one of the hotels on the New Vegas Strip. It's called the Ultra Lux. So you go inside the hotel, and it starts with an old man looking for his son. He looked away for just a minute, and his son disappeared into the casino. He has no idea where he went. He was there to do business with the White Glove Society. He's a very influential cattle rancher. If you ask around a little bit, you can find the maitre d' of the hotel, who has sort of a counter proposal for you. And that is, he wants you to go down and kind of smooth things over, because it turns out that the White Glove Society are former cannibals, and he would like them to return to cannibalism. They wanted to just kind of get a random person from the hotel, eat them, and have that be that, but they ended up getting somebody whose father could do a lot of damage.
This could be a disaster if things aren't put back the way they should be.
The major problem with the kid, whose name is Ted Gunderson, he's a jerk.
My daddy's gonna kill all you bastards once he finds out what you done to me.
So my tendency at that point is usually to whip out the cattle prod that the maitre d' gave me and to kill him with it. But that, of course, presents a problem, because you have to worry about the influential cattle rancher maybe making some bad business for the White Glove Society.
You can bet I'll pay for the names of the sons of bitches responsible.
All right, so how do you neutralize that particular situation?
Well, the maitre d' suggests that you frame him for the murder of his son, and then going down onto the Strip to find a Securitron, which is one of the robots that polices the Strip.
I will apprehend the perpetrator and see him or her punished.
So it just sounds like a really happy ending for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. The White Gloves are extremely happy that they were able to have a nice banquet, and they're very happy to support you in your future endeavors after that.
All right, well, we can't wait to play. There's many different ways to play this quest, so we don't want to give too many spoilers about it. So I can't wait to check it out for myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The only difference between savage and sophisticated is the proper seasoning.
Coming up, it's Epitober. XPlay and G4TV.com's huge fall preview week. Don't miss a major Call of Duty Black Ops exclusive. We've got your first look at a brand new campaign level and a brutal multiplayer war zone. Plus, we'll step into the shadows for the latest on Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. You won't see this exclusive gameplay anywhere else. Then we've got a brutally honest review of Medal of Honor. Find out if this reboot is a triumphant return or just another military shooter. And we'll review Quantum Theory. Are you in the market for a Gears of War knockoff? Have we got a game for you? All that and more, don't miss it. And remember, Fallout New Vegas is in stores on October 19th. So tomorrow,
Yes.
Call of Duty,
Call of Duty.
and Assassin's Creed,
It's a big day.
a review of Medal of Honor,
Yes.
and then there's Quantum Theory. Slightly different.
Thanks for watching X Play.
Today, we've got a whole half hour devoted to one of the year's biggest games, Fable 3.
Learn everything you need to know about the story, combat, and what's changed in Albion. X Play starts right now.